Let's do this.
Hello Nintendo normies, Paul Neon Davidson here, and I have pretty much reached my limit with this. You know, usually I like to give Nintendo the benefit of the doubt. I would like to, you know, give them a chance to shine, to innovate, to try something new. But this online service for the Nintendo Switch is literally the bane of the Switch's existence, pretty much. Now, the Nintendo Switch is a great console. It's pretty much perfect. Up until right now. You want to know why? I'm going to go over that right now, because a couple days ago, Nintendo had their Direct, and during that Direct, they had a segment dedicated solely to the Nintendo Switch online service, where they went over some pretty pointless details, honestly. They were very pandering. And that's probably something that a lot of people probably haven't said in their rants. I've seen plenty of rant videos, and it just angers me. Like, this Direct was great, and I'll go into that a little bit. Mostly the highlights of the Direct for just a little bit, just to say that there is some positivity in this video. So, I'll give you my top 3 things about the Nintendo Direct that I really liked. The first thing was Luigi's Mansion 3. That was pretty awesome. I really can't wait for that game to come out. Can't wait to hear more about that at E3. I hope it's more like the original than a Dark Moon, because I didn't really like Dark Moon's mission-based format. And then the second thing I really liked was all the Final Fantasy stuff that got announced, because Final Fantasy is awesome, and I'm glad that the Switch and that Nintendo in general is just getting more Final Fantasy stuff, because this is like the first time since, I want to say, the GameCube era, but I really want to say the SNES era, that we're getting a lot of Final Fantasy content on a Nintendo console. So, and we're going to get 7, we're going to get 9, 10, 10-2. Those are all great games. Pocket version of Final Fantasy 15. That's all pretty swell. And Crystal Chronicles, which was one of the awesomest games on the Nintendo GameCube. Glad we're getting an improved version of that on the Switch. And then my third thing is pretty much all the Animal Crossing stuff. Isabella is in Super Smash Bros. That was kind of unexpected, but I'm glad that we're getting more representation from Animal Crossing, and I love Isabelle. And then also, we're getting a new Animal Crossing in 2019. Hope to hear more about that at E3 next year, because I know everybody has been wanting a new Animal Crossing. That's just been the bane of Animal Crossing's fans' existence, that we were not getting a new game for the longest time. I mean, personally, I didn't really care, you know, because I heard New Leaf was so awesome, but that is all in terms of positivity, though, that I have for this particular Nintendo Direct, because there's some other cool stuff that was in it as well. There's some other ports and, you know, new games that are being brought to the Nintendo Switch, but the one segment that really just killed any motivation that I had was the Nintendo Online service. And the reason why it's taken me a couple days longer to get this video out than I wanted it to be was because I was trying to find out a way to really talk about this in a unique way, because everyone, like, shows the trailer, they'll talk bad about it, they'll, you know, give some, you know, logical, you know, disagreements and complaints to this whole online service, and I don't think it's really been enough. Honestly, the entire segment, it's not just because they didn't really answer any questions or anything during this whole segment. It's because it was just so needlessly pandering. Like, Nintendo, I get that you're marketing mostly towards children, but some adults are still watching as well. And yes, maybe some parents are watching as well, but some people would still question why you're doing this exactly, and so late outside of the Nintendo Switch's release as well. And I'll get into all of that as we analyze this entire segment. We're going to get our Game Explain on right here, and we're going to go over some individual points as to why this is just not a great idea at all. Like, you know, it's too little too late, pretty much. And I do literally mean too little too late, because I kind of feel dumber watching this entire thing. So before I go into any further details and I give some updates to this whole thing, all this drama, let's go over the segment that I have been teasing about. So I'm going to play the segment right now, and whenever there is something on screen that triggers me, I will pause it and we will talk about it.
We've announced some details about Nintendo's new service called Nintendo Switch Online, including the launch date. You won't have to wait long. The service will begin September 18th. We prepared a video to show you what's offered with your Nintendo Switch Online membership, so please take a look.
More games, more features, more fun.
What does that mean exactly? More games? What games? The NES games that you guys keep hyping up about? And what features? Are you talking about just being able to do stuff that we already could do for free? And more fun? We have to pay for this, you know, right? We were having just as much fun for free, though. So that doesn't make any sense to me.
Fun. Nintendo Switch.
You know, honestly, I don't know why they're showing the Mario characters having so much fun and being so happy about this. It's nothing really that new or revolutionary. Just, I don't know. Weird that they can't just have a normal presentation.
Online. Allow us to introduce 5 features included with your membership. Of course, you can play compatible games together online, even when you're far apart.
This is what I'm talking about with it being pandering. You're telling us what online gameplay is? Online gaming has been a thing since the 90s even. This isn't new, Nintendo. We've been able to do this on your consoles since the GameCube, technically. This is nothing new. So why are you defining it for us? Not to mention, we've been able to do this for free for like over a year already. So again, there's nothing new to this. Why go into such detail about it?
Compete against players the world over.
Again, we freaking get it. It shouldn't take 30 seconds for you guys to say, oh, you can play with other people online. Which again, you guys really shouldn't have to say to begin with.
Or team up for some great co-op action.
Okay, honestly, this one is just a nitpick here. I love how he says cooperative when showing off Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, a competitive racing game. Continue.
There are so many ways to have fun. A variety of games are supported. So find your favorites and take them online.
And just the imagery of this entire thing. Do we really need to see all these characters like playing video games? Why not just show normal people? Like, that's honestly a good thing that Nintendo's been doing lately with their marketing, showing a wide range of demographics playing their system. Here we have the Mario characters just doing it and being all happy, like this is so perfect.
You can even play classic NES games, anytime, anywhere on Nintendo Switch.
NES games. Why are you guys so happy and proud of NES games? This makes no sense. Why not give us some other games? You know, actual modern day games? Because NES games aren't that impressive anymore, Nintendo. You have 3 other consoles that can allow us to play NES games on the go. We have the virtual console on your other consoles already. What's so special about being able to play these NES games? Aside from playing them online, which I'll get into in a bit.
Get lost in the gameplay, whether you're the boss or the little monster. For multiplayer games, each player can grab a...
One of the only 2 good things about this whole presentation, Bowser being a good dad. Continue.
Joy-Con controller. So both of you can share in the fun. NES games can also be played online. As they say, playing together long distance makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah, unless you have to pay for it. Like we didn't have to do for like the last year.
Look forward to a growing library of NES games.
Nintendo, we don't want NES games. You're giving us more of something we don't want. How does that make up for anything?
Luigi knows that no matter how careful you try to be, something unexpected can happen. Accidents can cause your precious save data to disappear. But help is on the way. With Nintendo Switch Online, game save data is automatically backed up in the cloud. Even if your console breaks, your save data will be safe from harm.
I'll go into more detail about this later on, but again, Nintendo, we should not have to pay to get these cloud saves, and they don't work for all of the games, so they might as well be totally useless.
Nintendo Switch Online also connects with the smartphone app. With this app, you can voice chat with friends while playing certain games. Backseat players can also join in the conversation. That way everyone's happy.
Multiple things. One, Nintendo, if we didn't even use this app when it was free, what makes you think that we're going to use it when we have to pay for it? I mean, at that point, you would be using it because you have to pay for it because you want to get your money's worth. Two, the app itself is terrible. I've tried the app before back when it was still free, and it just did not work properly. I can understand what they're going for, but until this app gets better and is actually useful and convenient, then I will probably consider retrying it again. Until then, this app is not a good selling point.
Fun. The service even has the ability to enhance certain games by connecting with them, like Splatnet.
This is stuff you could already do in the game. It's completely useless. And again, I shouldn't have to go outside of the game to get extra content or look at things that I can't look at in the game. Okay? If I want to look at my stats in Splatoon 2 or whatever, I will just look at it in the game. It's completely useless.
2. Members will also receive special offers. What are they? We'll have more to announce in the future.
This has got to be the worst part of the presentation thus far, because beforehand, they were just explaining things to us that we already knew. They were retorting it and all that stuff. Here's their chance to give us some new content, to explain something to us, to give us a selling point. But they don't do that. We're going to give you special offers and new features and stuff like that. What are they? We don't know. It's a mystery. Ooh. I'll go into more detail about this later on after we're done watching this.
More games, more features, more fun. Nintendo Switch Online.
So, it begins September 18th, 2018. As I'm recording this, it is September 17th. This video may not come out until September 18th. Those things that they said that they were going to reveal about those special offers and things, we have not heard about that. It's been 4 days, Nintendo, and you have not said anything about that. Okay, if you're trying to sell this service, this is a terrible job of doing it.
Think about which plan is right for you. If your family has 2 or more accounts, you can save some money with the...
So $20 a year. That is a good deal when compared to PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live. The problem is, though, we're not getting as many benefits as PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live give to their gamers. So in other words, are we really getting a great deal at that point?
Family membership.
How's it look? Well, we have one more thing we'd like to introduce. This Nintendo Entertainment System style controller works with NES games on Nintendo Switch. This one here is the left NES controller, and this is the right NES controller.
I'm not even going to pause the video for this one this time because they go on for so long about these NES controllers. They talk more about these NES controllers. This NES controller thing is literally the newest thing that they announce about this whole service. Shouldn't you go into more detail about what we'll be getting, you know, like the special offers that you guys are being so secretive about and such? This makes no sense. You put more time and effort into these NES controllers. And by the way, they only work with the NES games that you get with the online service. So they can't replace Joy-Cons, which means you'll be spending $60 just to play some NES games that you could probably be playing elsewhere. Also, having the NES controllers be on the sides of the Switch is both the coolest yet stupidest thing I have ever seen in the entirety of the Switch's lifespan. And I should not have to say that when it comes to an NES controller. Also, thank you, CNET. That's all I'm going to say. So that was pretty painful, right? I don't know if you saw anything new while I was doing all that. There's been enough rants about this. This is going to be kind of a part rant, part review type of thing on the Nintendo Switch Online service. But, like I said, the reason why it took me so long to get this video out is probably because I wanted to wait to see what those special offers that they were offering were going to be. They said that it was going to be coming soon. They were going to have more to announce soon and all that. It's been 4 days. It is now the release date of this online service, and we have seen nothing. If anything, we've gotten information that could seriously hurt the service. And I'm going to start by reading out a few of those articles right now. If you loved the whole NES games thing for the Switch Online service, unfortunately for you, and I don't know why this is a thing, your Nintendo Switch needs to be connected to the internet at least once every week to play the NES games from Switch Online. Does that make any sense? Why does that have to be the case? And what does it mean that it has to be online? Isn't it technically online? Why would I get the service if I don't already have internet or Wi-Fi to connect to my Nintendo Switch to? It does not make any sense. Does this remind anybody of Microsoft back in the day when the Xbox One was just first getting announced and they said that the Xbox One had to be online every day in order for you to use it at all? Otherwise it would just be a brick. This kind of reminds me of that. Except it's even more needless, because it's for games that you're probably not gonna play. And again, remember the whole thing about the Switch? It was to take it around with you, to travel, to see other sites, while at the same time playing a bunch of Nintendo's greatest hits. What if I'm out traveling and I don't have Wi-Fi for a certain amount of time? What if I go to like a third world country? This is just hypothetical. This is probably a really stupid, premises, but just hear me out. What if I'm out somewhere for like a week and I really want to play these NES games? Forget the fact that I got Breath of the Wild and I got Kirby Star Allies and all these other games on my Switch. No, I want to play an NES game. Otherwise, I'm not doing this at all. What if I'm out somewhere? There's no Wi-Fi. I can't connect to the internet. I can't connect to Switch Online. I'm not going to be able to play these things because I'm out traveling. I am out doing what the Switch is supposed to be doing in the first place. Does that make any sense, Nintendo? Why is there a limit on this thing? Is there seriously DRM on NES games? We live in a world where that is a thing, apparently. Here is another super stupid point that goes against the entire purpose of the Nintendo Switch Online service. I have said that we should not have to pay for the cloud service. This should be something we get for free. Why is it that Steam, PlayStation Network, and all that, and Xbox Live can give us cloud saves without having to be part of their online service? But Nintendo requires it though. And on top of that, even if it made sense that we had to pay for it, if you cancel your Nintendo Online Switch service, your subscription, the cloud save data disappears. That's right. We spent, granted, the only good thing about it, again, with the Nintendo Switch service, is that it is only $20 for a year. So maybe there really shouldn't be a point against this, but at the same time, this shouldn't be a thing at all. What if I cancel my subscription service, or if I forget to renew it, or something? That means that if I backed up my save data, and my Nintendo Switch just happens to get destroyed or something like that, that means I can't recover it all. Although, all because I didn't pay for the online service. That makes zero sense, and I know I've been saying that a lot during this entire video, but this is a stupid limitation. We shouldn't have to pay for it, and if we do have these saves already, they should not just vanish into thin air. I paid for those online saves, Nintendo. That is just stupid marketing right there. That is a really stupid technical limitation, and like the NES games, this should not be a selling point. This should be something we already have, and even if we did have to pay for it, we should not lose these things just because we are not giving you our money. And speaking of limitations, and this has been kind of old news pretty much, you know, the cloud service won't be available for all the games. Specifically for these games on this list: Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, Splatoon 2, Dark Souls Remastered, Dead Cells, FIFA 19, NBA 2K19, and probably several others in the future. I'm sure of it. Now, I could really care less about FIFA 19 and NBA 2K19. EA and 2K games are pretty terrible developers, honestly, like that. I've heard good things about Dead Cells, and Dark Souls Remastered is going to be an awesome game. But for your own two first-party games, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu and Splatoon 2. Now, they did give some explanation as to why these games wouldn't have cloud service, but it's a really stupid explanation. And in case you guys don't know what that explanation was, the vast majority of Nintendo Switch games will support save data cloud backup. However, in certain games, this feature would make it possible to, for example, regain items that had been traded to other players or revert to a higher online multiplayer ranking that had been lost. To ensure fair play, save data cloud backup may not be enabled for such games. To ensure that save data cloud backups cannot be used to unfairly affect online multiplayer rankings, the feature will not be enabled in Splatoon 2. Again, I know this is old news at this point, but I needed to talk about this sooner than later, and I wanted to wait for them to maybe, hopefully, rectify all this bad press in the Nintendo Direct. And of course, no, they just went ahead and made it worse. Sometimes I like to give Nintendo the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they won't get a certain game, or maybe they won't allow a certain feature or something like that, because maybe there's a logistical reason, or there's like just something that keeps them from doing a certain thing because there's just no way to work around it, or something like that. Maybe the system just can't handle some feature or something that the other consoles can handle, or something like that. Maybe it just doesn't fit tonally with their business practices or something like that. This, on the other hand, I cannot think of another reason as to why there's no way to work around it, unless there is something that I can't think about, in which I wish Nintendo would go into some depth about that and explain why exactly they're not doing that. But for now, all we have to go off of is this dumb cheating excuse as to why we can't have cloud saves in all of our games. So let's just say that maybe this is a legitimate excuse. Maybe these games won't work well with cloud saves or whatever. Nintendo, you gotta remember that you're not the only game company out there. PlayStation and Xbox have been doing this for years, for multiple console generations. Why is it that they can have cloud save backups and not have this issue? Why is it only you that's having this issue with Pokemon and Splatoon 2 and all these other games? Like, especially all the other games. I don't understand why the other games can't handle it, and like, maybe I would say that your games can't handle it, but this is just insane. This is just completely peculiar. I don't get why you guys can't find a workaround for this. Nintendo has made a lot of decisions that have backfired on them. You know, starting from the GameCube, to thinking on the short term with the Wii, to releasing the Wii U an entire generation late. There's just so many things that Nintendo has done wrong, and we've always given them the ability to excuse them. You know, because they're not part of the same demographic or the same market that Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus, you know, Sony and Microsoft are a part of. That's not working anymore. We cannot do this anymore. This is also the same company that would take a lot of revenue and copyright strike YouTubers because it showed some of their gameplay off. This entire Nintendo Switch service has been a complete train wreck ever since it was first introduced. Back when the Switch was first shown off, we knew that something was going to go amiss here. I probably wouldn't be as angry at this online service if we had gotten this from day one of the Switch, because now it just feels like a tease. So like, you go for an entire year and more on to allow us to play online games for free, but then now suddenly we gotta pay to do all of this stuff that we could already do for free, and then putting this entire announcement video in the middle of the direct and not going into that much detail, not selling us on it at all, making everybody upset. It's like they didn't even listen to any of the vloggers or critics out there that had something to say on this, not going into any other detail and trying to fix any problems that they might have had. They didn't do any of that. Say what you will about PlayStation 4 and its cross-platform play. At least that online service makes some form of sense, because PlayStation 3 had free online, and PlayStation 4 started the whole you have to pay for it every so often in order to get online features. But you know what? With PlayStation Plus, at least it started out at the beginning of the console, so we didn't have this age where everything was free and now suddenly we gotta pay for everything and just tease us like that. Because now the people that come in with a Nintendo Switch that are buying the Switches for this holiday season, they're not gonna have the same benefits or freedom that I had. They're gonna have to pay $20 to do something that I was able to do for free for the last year, and that is completely unfair. And the other thing about PlayStation Plus is that it was actually able to tell us what special offers we were going to get. There are discounts on games. There's free movies occasionally. There's free games every month. I've been able to play Ratchet & Clank 2016, God of War 3, Just Cause 3. These are all great games. I've been able to play all these games for free, even though I pay $60. $60 is what you pay for a game nowadays. I was able to get 3 games to make up for that. That makes this service completely worthwhile. What is the Nintendo Switch Online service giving us for free? Giving us NES games that we could either easily emulate, not that I'm advocating it, or that we probably already own on the other consoles via the Virtual Console or the mini NESs. And again, those special offers, are they discounts? Are they actually free recently released games that are available on the Switch? Are they some other services that would not be available to people that are not using the online service, like, I don't know, physical rewards or something like that? I don't know. We don't know because they don't want to tell us, and it's, again, release day of this online service, and we still don't know what these special offers are. Oh, I guess in Splatoon 2 you can get exclusive in-game gear. Jersey and some shoes. Wow. What a freaking great deal. This video has gone on for way too long, guys. I didn't realize that it was going to be almost 30 minutes long. Really hate the fact that I took that long to really talk about all this, but that's all the stuff I really have to talk about. I'm going to make a follow-up to this after the online service comes out, and I'm just done. I'm done making this video. I'll talk about this some more. I hope this was an enlightening and an educational video for you guys. I'm sorry that none of this stuff really is panning out, really. And I'll let you guys know whether this online service is worth it or not. It probably won't be. And I'll tell you how great Dr. Mario Online is, I guess. It's gonna be a train wreck. And Nintendo, I'm being serious about this. I really want you to learn what you're doing wrong here. I wanted to give you guys the benefit of the doubt. I want you guys to succeed. I want you guys to try new things. But this is not the way to do it. This is just saddening how you guys think that this is actually okay. And you don't realize what you guys are, what's going on is wrong. Despite the fact that everybody has been telling you that this has been completely wrong. The wrong way to do this. I hope you guys learn. I really do. And so guys, that'll be the end of this longer than I expected video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you liked what you saw or what you heard. Thank you guys for watching again. This is Paul Leon Davidson here. Hope you guys are doing okay. And I'll see you guys next time whenever I get around to making another video.